Okay, I cut my shield here. I'm just going to scribe some lines. I just got an inch wide. I'm going to scribe some lines just to drill some holes a little bit smaller than the tang width. And then I'm going to put it in the forge and just pound it on so it's a nice tight fit, and then just tack weld it. But just getting my center lines going. Since this entire thing is going to be out of steel, it'll make it nice to weld it. There's center. All right, let's put it up, let's drill it. Just going to put a couple of holes in it just to clear out some space, so the tang slides on nicer. Just going to knock back some of the jagged spots before I file with my punch. Just make it a lot easier and cleaner, so. There we go. All free. Okay, this is pretty cheesy, but I don't have a leg vise yet. But I've got, what I plan on doing is heating up my guard just to get a little more plasticity with what I just drilled out. Then I'm gonna hammer it down on here and get it to fit. Probably need to file it a little bit more, but I just can't have this fall. But I got it clamped down pretty nice, but hopefully I can just tap it on there and it should be all good. All right, gonna load the shield in now. Get some heat on it. Okay, a little bit of a change in plan. Just gonna actually punch out that hole a little bit bigger size because I don't think it's gonna wind up making it on, but here we go. My hammer. Here we go. All right, let's see how much more we need to grind. It's pretty close. It's getting there. That's gonna look cool. All right, I like it. A little more grinding. Check it out. Okay, it's getting hung up on those rasps right there, so I actually might grind down the tang a little more. Let's do that. All right, let's check it out. A little toasty on there. There we go, let's see if it fits. Nice. There we go. Now let's clean this thing up. We'll take a try at it, see what we got. All right, this is what I love about this stuff is like you never know how it's going to turn out, and then you just start going. Of course, you can design something, but it doesn't necessarily work out. But this is really cool. Like I got a little triangle going on here. The rough grinding almost finished. It's pretty mean looking. It's almost like I got two other daggers on the side of this guard, but we got a lot of more cleanup and polishing and finish work to do. And especially in the corners here, you can see I wasn't able to get right in there with just the belt grinder, but it's looking nice. And basically, right at I can start doing the fine grinding now, I would say, but liking how it's looking. All right, just use 220 grit. It's looking pretty good for the guard. Liking it a lot. Got a lot of work to do on the polishing and finishing side, but as you can see, got some nice angles. And this is all from a piece of channel that I just cut off, so looking pretty cool. I'm excited, happy with it. I'll probably wind up welding this just directly to the blade itself, but got the slot for the tang cut out and just got to keep on grinding and polishing. All right, got a lot of the rough grinding finished. Now moved to some lighter sandpaper. I lowered my grinder, just a little more ergonomic. It's going to be nice for the buffing, and then this is a little more for me, being 6'5", a nice ergonomic spot. But now I'm on, we got 220. Just going to finish off with this, go down to probably 400, then 800, and start buffing on the buffing wheel. All right, I got this tool that I made for another art project, and it's intended to wrap steel wire into a spring, and I just feed it in here and twist it around, and it does its job. But I got to get some vice grips to do that. So here it is. You just feed the wire in there, and then let it ride against the big bar, and just twist it. So put the vice grips right there, and then you can run. I can run about I don't know, it's about 3 feet, like a 3-foot spring or so. All right, there's my coil. That'll be my handle going over the tang. Looks pretty cool. There's the final product. So what I'm going to do is just put it over the tang here and then twist the bottom. Make it tighter. This is actually working pretty nicely. It almost works like a screw. Just to get on, it's going to be nice and tight too on the tang on the top half, and then I'll do the opposite once I get it tacked on the bottom half. But you can see it's going up. I got a nice little taper, so we'll keep going. Takes some pretty good force to get it on here, but nothing a little rubber mallet can handle. All right, so what was really nice about this, the spring actually acted like a little spring, of course, to hold the handle on. So when I still got some work to do to get that cleaned up, but it's looking pretty sweet. I like the look of this handle. So now I have to figure out how I want to weld it. Unfortunately, I sold my TIG welder a while ago. I'd love to put a nice TIG weld right there. I may wait. I may not. I'm not very patient when it comes to stuff like that. So think about it a little bit and see where we go next. But looking good. So I'm starting to get that taper. You kind of see from top to bottom. Little trickier down here, but all I'm doing is just grabbing the vice grips and giving it some good twisting, and it seems to be working not too bad, but it almost has a little tornado look, which is pretty cool. Yeah, once it's getting down here to the bottom of the tang, it's one to bind up a little bit, but just a matter of finding the right spot. And then I'm just clipping off the excess as we go. Now we got to tighten it a little bit. But unfortunately, obviously, it's spring, wants to spring back. So wind it a couple times, see where you're at. But once this gets tightened and leverages the shape of the tang, it'll conform to it and get a nice straight profile. There we go, that's looking good. Probably need to tighten it just a little bit more. Got some scratches on it, but I'm gonna polish it up, make it a little more uniform, but you can see how it followed that taper. Had to sacrifice some of the spring down here to get it to bend, but working out well. All right, got the pommel welded on and the shield and the handle, and feeling pretty good about how it looks. The only problem is I wanted to make a TIG weld along the base of the blade right there, and sold my TIG welder a couple of years ago just to make a few extra bucks, but right now regretting that. It's all right, but feel like I could do all right with just how it is. There's a lot of polishing I could do. In a minute, I'm just going to show you some Renaissance wax, which is intended to keep this thing from rusting. But got a really good polish on it right now, and pretty happy with it. Got the pommel welded on, looking really nice. Got the taper on the bottom, as well as the shield's looking really nice as well. So pretty happy with it overall. Just got a bunch of polishing to do to get literally the polish out from the buffer and everything. But here is the Renaissance wax. It is I think literally called Renaissance wax because it was invented in the Renaissance era where everybody was using steel and to prevent it from rusting. So did a little bit of research. Since my entire blade is made of steel, I wanted to make sure that I use something to keep it from rusting. So gonna go through it, hand polish with the shop rags and make sure that it keeps it pretty nice and shiny. So at this point, just cleaning out the buffing wax material between all of the rasp spots, and using the new Renaissance wax just to clean everything up. So working out really nice. Just putting these finishing touches of the wax on here, and you can actually just, as you're wiping it on, you can see how it just completely enhances the blade. Not a whole lot of up close videos right here, but it really does make a difference, and you can see how it's just going to prevent the blade from getting rusted, and obviously enhance it and make it super shiny after all the polishing. So just wiping the wax on and wax off, just Karate Kid style. This is just the other side, and I was very close to slicing my finger open, so I wanted to make sure I could feel that rag cutting on the edge, and wanted to make sure I didn't do that, so I was very cautious at this point. This is the final product. Just wanted to showcase it, and very proud of it. There are obviously some imperfections, but that's what makes it an art piece. I wound up taking this thing outside and hacking off some agave leaves, and it worked out pretty well, but very proud of it. Very shiny, very sharp, and going to make a nice piece on my wall. Appreciate you guys taking a look. So thanks for watching, and look forward to seeing you next time on the next project.